Hey y'all, today we are cooking a steak dinner. We're cooking ribeye, and I have some friends with me, Eva Ruwe and Raymond. All right, so let's get into it.
You say I'm breaking up a happy home. If he was yours, then he wouldn't have moved on. You didn't feed him, so he's over here eating up all my cookies and cream. A little piece of ham shouldn't have brought him to my door. Now you want him back, but everybody knows. Thick thighs, baby. Thick thighs ruin life. Thick thighs ruin. They ruin lives. Da-da-da-da-da. Thick thighs ruin lives. Thick thighs ruin lives.
So I figured we would start off with an appetizer, and I don't think there's much better than a little bit of toast and goat cheese dip. So let's get started. I'm pulling shit out of everywhere. I'm so glad they make these little half loaves because I don't eat a lot of bread, although it may look like I do, but I don't. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm just gonna do, if it's all right with you two, I'm gonna do one slice of toast for each of you.
Yeah, that'd be perfect.
All right, cool. It's Raymond all. Oh, that'd be perfect.
Yeah.
Who are you? What is this?
We are bougie.
That's nice, Raymond. All right.
Okay. Yes. Okay.
So let's go. I'm just gonna do a little bit of butter on this.
Now that can do a lot of.
And this is like old-fashioned toast that your grandma made because this is going in the oven.
Oh,
Nice. So I'm just gonna spread just a little bit on there. And then I'm gonna hit the other side with a little olive oil. I'm gonna drizzle on both sides. There we go. And into the oven with it, we are gonna make our goat cheese dip. So I'm gonna set this to the side. And right inside of a ramekin, we're gonna start off with some marinara and just get some store-bought marinara. So I have a cup in each one of these. Got this shit all over my face. All right. Here we go. And now we're gonna add a little bit of goat cheese right in the middle of each one of these. So there's the first one. We're gonna get a little bit more in there actually. All right, and we're gonna do the same thing in the second one. And you kind of want the goat cheese right in the middle. And it smells so good.
Yes, it does.
All right. So the goat cheese I bought, you can buy it with honey and all of that, but I did a garlic and herb goat cheese. And then to that, I'm just gonna add a little bit of thyme. Just gonna throw right on top. Now you can make your own marinara if you got that type of time on your hands. I don't. So, and then we're gonna top it off with some Parmesan, Romano, and Asiago cheeses. So that's just gonna go right there, like so. So it's gonna be this nice little mix of all 4 cheeses. And I'm gonna throw these in the oven with the toast, and it's all gonna bake at 375 for no the fuck I didn't. And it's gonna bake at 375 for about 15 to 20 minutes. And then that'll be enough to get this cheese melted and browned on the top a little bit. So I'm gonna cook these uncovered. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw these in the oven. So starting with the toast. And that is a hot oven, let me tell you. How do I know? Because it just hit me right in the face. All right, so we'll work on, that's gonna go ahead and start working, and then we're gonna get started on the rest of our meal.
All right.
So we have 2 ribeyes over here. I'm gonna move this out of the way. So the good thing about ribeyes is that they have all this beautiful marbling in them, right? And that's actually what you want for a ribeye. A ribeye is one of the more expensive ones. So I was at a steakhouse just a couple days ago, and the ribeye on the menu was $89. And of course, that's no sides or anything. So for a nice date night meal, you could do this for a lot less expensive. So for these 2 ribeyes, I think it was maybe 20 something bucks. So so something to consider for a date night if you want to just stay home and do it yourself. So let's go ahead. I'm going to start off with a hot skillet. Yes.
That rib was real sexy. I mean, ribeye. That's what I meant.
Ribeye.
It's
You
gonna
got
go
ribs
down.
on the brain. It's a ribeye.
That's a ribeye. Excuse me.
Don't forget about the eye.
All right. Okay.
The Bible says, I can't think of an eye scripture, so.
The eye of a needle.
Oh, that's not it, Eva.
That's not-
It's
It's easier for a rich man to pass through the eye.
eye open. Okay.
Somebody.
Something like that. Okay.
Or-
I was about to do I was gonna say the one, you know, where you can't see the bar in your eye. There we go. See?
Yeah.
So you want to take us back to church while we're about to
Yes.
feast on some ribeye?
I'm sorry.
So in either case, I have a skillet that you want to get hot. Like as hot as it can get, almost smoking before you throw these ribeyes in. But what I'm gonna do with these ribeyes, so I'm gonna remove the thyme, and let's do a little bit of seasoning here. I'm also gonna remove the garlic out of the way. So you don't need a lot. Some people just go overboard with the seasonings. I'm gonna pour a little salt in my hand here, okay? And you need a good amount of salt for ribeyes. For steak, period. And a lot of it's gonna lose its salt when you are cooking it anyway. But we need some seasonings on here to sort of get that crust going. All right?
Okay.
So there is, like I said, it looks like a lot of salt, but I promise you, when you get ready to eat it, it won't be. So I'm gonna use some restaurant style pepper. So these are pretty big flakes. So all we are doing up front is salt and pepper, okay? And we're gonna do that on both sides. So I'm just pressing it in a little bit into the steak. I'm gonna do the same thing on the back. I'm gonna go in reverse, so I'm gonna do pepper first. And now we're gonna come in with a little bit of salt.
So you're masticating your meat.
That sounds nasty, but yes. Girl, I thought you said masturbating to me. About to say, no, not today. No, not at all. So I'm just soaking up some of this excess salt and pepper that's on the plate. We're gonna hit the sides with it. So again, there's a fair amount of salt and pepper. All right, so to this, I'm gonna add some olive oil. And we're gonna let that heat up. And I'm even gonna add a little bit of olive oil on the steak itself. So we're gonna turn that over. So again, we need a hot skillet because we want to brown the hell out of this steak. And also, these steaks are only going to cook for 3 minutes on both sides, and then we're just going to let them rest, all right? So let's do it. Whenever you're putting steak into a skillet, you want to put it away from you. So drop it away from you. And then leave it alone. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna set a timer for 3 minutes. So what we're gonna do in the meantime is I'm gonna add the thyme that we have here right into the skillet. Okay, so we're gonna get some aromatics going in the skillet. In fact, I'm going to add even a little bit more olive oil because we're going to throw some butter in here in just a second too. Now, take just a couple cloves of garlic and we're going to crush them just so that they release all of their good juices. You don't have to mince it and all that. I think when you do minced garlic on a steak, it gets all caught in your teeth and a little bit too nutty. So we're going to throw that into the skillet as well. And like I said, in a moment, we're going to add a nice amount of butter. And we're just going to continually baste and baste and baste the steak. But I'm going to wait to do that until it is almost done on that first side. I have a spoon to baste with. So I'm just giving it a little bit of a wiggle just to make sure it's not sticking to the skillet. Also, it will help if you get good skillets. Quit buying that cheap shit. So again, this is on high heat and we're just letting it go. So in about another minute, I'm going to go ahead and turn it. Nice if I had my shit turning this, huh? So there we are. Again, we're just letting that steak do its thing. We're not bothering it. Doesn't it smell good though?
Yes.
No, delicious.
I'm so ready.
Me and you both. I came with a long
ready?
appetite.
So now that we are about, we're less than a minute in, I'm gonna go ahead and add our butter here. And yes, it looks like a lot of butter, but we're gonna need it. And that's what's really gonna flavor this steak up nicely. I'm gonna get it over here where my garlic is as well so that it doesn't burn. And again, I'm not moving the steak, I'm moving the garlic and the thyme around in here because I want them to really season this butter up real nicely. So the butter is going to be like a brown butter, with a real nutty flavor. So our timer is about to go off. And now I can go ahead and flip these steaks over. So you see we have a nice sear on it. So more than likely that's going to be our presentation side when we serve it. So now I'm going to take the thyme and throw it right on top of the steak. Get some more on this one. We want Eva's steak to have just as much seasoning as Raymond's, you know.
Yes, please.
And
thank
now
you.
all I'm going to do is baste. And I'm going to reset my timer for another 3 minutes. So now I'm basting. So all that butter flavor, all of that garlic is all going to be nicely in this steak. So again, that's why that high heat is so important. How does it smell?
Smells good.
It smells delicious.
And we didn't put a lot of stuff on here either.
No, you
You
didn't.
know, like I said, it's just a little bit of garlic, a little bit of thyme, salt and pepper. That's all you need, because otherwise you start taking away from the beef flavor of the steak, and that's the whole point of getting it, right? If you went to a restaurant and you paid $89 for that steak and all you tasted was onion powder and garlic powder, like some people would pile on, you would be a little upset, I would say, right?
That's true. I'm definitely learning some new tricks, you know,
Cool.
that I need.
You're gonna be able to prepare a good meal after this.
Oh, yes.
A good, elegant meal after this.
Exactly, an elegant.
And now, in the last few minutes, we're gonna hit the sides, especially the fat cap, because we wanna make sure we brown the sides as well. So, I'm just going to pick it up. So there's 3 minutes. So the steak is done. Like I said, all we're doing is hitting this fat cap now. And we're gonna do that on both sides. I'm gonna go ahead and turn the heat off because this puppy is done. And so now what we have are 2 steaks that just need to rest now. For our mushroom sauce, I'm gonna cut up a little bit of bacon just into small pieces. And we're gonna use this to render down into that same skillet where we had the drippings from the steak, okay? So not a lot, just a little. And that's about enough. Maybe a little bit more. All right, so this, we're gonna, like I said, we're just gonna add this to that skillet that we just cooked the steak in. We're gonna go ahead and get started on our smothered potatoes. Now, folks in the South would say smothered potatoes. Bougie folk up in New York in their fine dining restaurants would say hash. Okay. So we're gonna do smothered potatoes. Again, though, we are gonna just elevate it just a little bit, all right? So we have our skillet hot here. I'm gonna use vegetable oil instead of olive oil. A little Crisco.
Yes.
So as our skillet is getting hot, I'm gonna add just a tablespoon of oil. There we go. So just a tablespoon of vegetable oil for this. And as soon as this gets hot, we're gonna add our potatoes. Now this skillet, the pan is cooled down a little bit, so I can go ahead then and add my bacon. So you should hear a little bit of a sizzle.
I just got moist.
Got a little moist.
Excuse me, damp.
Crumbs of bacon.
Excuse me, not moist. Let me say damp instead.
Right.
Since we're elevating, right?
And we're gonna add some onion. So I chopped up half of an onion. Then I'm gonna throw in here with this bacon. And then finally, I have 2 cups of mushrooms. And we're just gonna add all of that to that same skillet that our steak was fried in. So I'm gonna let that saute a little bit in olive oil. And again, I'm adding just a little bit more olive oil here. Meanwhile, I think you guys deserve a little something to eat, wouldn't you say?
Oh,
Nice.
yes.
So I think your appetizers might be ready.
Oh my.
So,
Hey. You're peckish? Oh my.
so here's our toast.
Oh, that's
Delicious
perfect.
and nice.
Oh, I should probably put it where. So here's our toast. See, my godfather used to say, black folks can't make good toast. But look at that.
Those are absolutely
All right, so there's our toast. And then we have our goat cheese dip here as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and add these to the plate. And again, this is hot.
Okay.
So I'll cover that up for the moment. And I'm gonna give my mushrooms a little stir here.
What's your thought?
Oh, thank you. So, I need to give y'all a knife, huh? So here we are. So I'm sure you will want to cut your toast.
Oh, yes.
Is it okay if I serve the lady first?
Please.
Thank you.
Here you go. Okay. He would have been so mad.
Wait, I thought he was asking me. That was too funny, Jimmy.
And let's get
That's
one
too
for
funny.
you as well. I'm just gonna pass that right across there.
Thank you.
And I'm gonna get you a slice of toast as well.
Thank you, Master Chef.
Ooh, okay. I'll take it. Here, in case you wanna cut your toast
Okay.
for you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Very good. So we are having, so I'm gonna go ahead and get these potatoes on while they get started on their appetizer there. And you can probably use that same knife to
Okay.
Stir.
spread on your
Oh,
toast.
nice. Okay.
All right, the mushrooms are cooking down. I'm gonna add these potatoes. So, and just to elevate the dish a little bit more, like I said, we are gonna use purple potatoes. I also have ruby red potatoes, and then white fingerling potatoes as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and add these to a hot skillet.
Okay.
So I could go ahead and start eating, right?
And this is gonna be the beginning of our hash. Excuse me, our smothered potatoes.
Thank you. Thank you.
So we should start eating?
Absolutely, yes.
Oh,
please.
okay. Good, Raymond? I know it's good. Okay, let me see.
Here we go. Now for seasoning. So as you can see, our potatoes here. Again, nice colors going there. So for seasoning, I'm going to do 2 seasonings, both of which are going to be spicy. So I'm going to do about a half a teaspoon of Old Bay seasoning. And then about the same amount of Cajun seasoning. All right, so that's going to give it a nice little kick. Plus, it's going to add to the salt content. I'm going to add some restaurant-style black pepper. And at the same time, I'm continuing to toss my mushrooms. All right, so basically, we want these to just brown on the bottom. Okay, and then we're going to render that down with a little bit of chicken stock, actually.
Wow.
So, and the same thing for our
Peas? Along with that sauce?
So the same thing
Absolutely.
is going to apply for our mushrooms over here for our sauce. So I'm going to add in some chicken stock. And again, we're just deglazing. Now you can deglaze with what you want. We could use white wine. We could use a little bit of, I'm going to add some butter to this. You could use white wine. You could use butter or whatever. I'm going to use chicken stock and butter. All right, so we're just going to let that go. You can get these a little steak in a flip.
And the flame
So as you can see, they're starting to brown a little. I need butter. How is it?
Absolutely amazing.
Oh, cool.
I'm never eating plain marinara again.
And yes,
That was a waste of my life.
It's all good. So I'm going to add some butter into our mushroom sauce. So just think about, I want you to kind of think about all the flavors that are going into this mushroom sauce. We have butter, enough said, bacon, d.a.m. And then we have chicken stock in there as well. So I'm going to give my potatoes another toss. And again, we just want a little bit of crust on those potatoes before we begin to smother it, okay? And all this is happening while our steak is resting. If we were to just start cutting into this steak right away, all of the juices would go running out of the steak. Also, the steak continues to cook after you take it off of the skillet, right? So we're just gonna let that finish cooking. And we're gonna throw this fucking bacon
Okay,
away.
so that's the point of resting.
Yep, you got
You
it.
gonna throw that bacon away?
Yes, we are.
Oh, Father God, help me. That's like throwing away a piece of chicken. Help me, Lord.
Oh no, you didn't.
So I was just on a podcast called the d.a.m podcast, Daylight and Moonshine podcast.
Oh yes, I saw that.
And we were talking about American privilege, and one of the things we talked about, G, the guy who does the podcast, knows that I throw away a lot of food. So, you know, these big parties,
Yeah.
I'm not sitting around doing leftovers for the next 3 days. No, it's going in the trash that night. So that is probably just another example of me wasting food and abusing my American privilege. All right. So I'm going to give one last toss to these. Yes, there we go. So now that we have that tossed, I'm going to add in some chicken stock to this. And again, it's at high heat right now. I didn't realize I have a big one in there. We're going to get rid of him. All right, so I'm going to add some chicken stock. Oh, I forgot the onions. Hang on. Shit.
Forgot to add the fabric softener.
Look, and I don't want you motherfuckers judging me because I ain't gonna cut up no onions when they sell them in the store already cut up. So, just checking on our sauce, and that is almost where we want it. Our potatoes are coming along just fine as well. In a minute, I'm gonna add some heavy cream to the mushrooms, and I'm gonna add some onions to our potatoes. Because you can't smother without the onions.
Absolutely.
Okay? So now to our potatoes, I'm going to add some chicken stock. And then I'm going to cover it. So now I'm going to add a little bit of heavy cream to our mushrooms to make our sauce.
Yes, heavy cream.
Not a lot, so probably about 1/4 of a cup is all we need. I know y'all finished with that damn toast like motherfucker.
I have this marinara on my finger, and I'm like, should I suck my finger?
Don't do that. Let me get you a napkin, baby.
Too late.
Okay.
It is absolutely delicious.
I'm gonna turn the heat off on my sauce. Alrighty, so we have some asparagus here. We don't need all this just for 2 people. We don't even need all of that for 2 people. But I'm going to cut off. You can normally tell, you can probably just snap these off and tell where the good part is, because that's the part that will actually snap. If you go down here, all of this will be chewy, so.
Gotcha.
But I am going to go even further up. So we're only going to do the crowns of these asparagus. Like so. And we're going to discard the rest of that. And I'm just going to add a little bit of olive oil to them. Alright. And then, just to keep some of the same flavors going that we have in our smothered potatoes, I'm going to hit it with a little bit of Creole seasoning. That's just some Tony Chachere's, some Old Bay. All right, and then I'm going to just mix those around just a little bit with that seasoning on it, and then into our hot skillet they go. So I do have this going at high heat. I'm just gonna lay them a little flat. And all we want to do is let them blister up a little. So it's only going to take a couple minutes on each side here with these.
Okay.
And we're going to check on our potatoes. As you can see, they have been in here just steaming for a while. So I'm going to continue that. And actually, I'm going to turn the heat up a little. So we had turned it down. Now we're going to turn it back up. And we're going to add some butter to those babies, and we're going to get a crust on the bottom now.
So did you put anything in the skillet with the asparagus, or just
Probably
straight
what
in?
It's just with the seasonings we just added. That's it.
Oh, okay, so the oil's not, okay.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna come over when Jimmy's cooking and just say, you know, have a little bag, like,
Come
yeah,
with
just
your
drop
grocery
here.
So I added some butter to our smothered potatoes. And these are blistering up nicely. And you're gonna be surprised at what I add to this.
Ooh, I love surprises.
So we have a little Asiago, Parmesan deal going, and Romano. Like so. And now in that low heat, just gonna mix those around. And now we can start plating our food. So with steak, you need a big plate. Well, with these ribeyes, we're gonna need a big plate. So we're gonna lay down our
Wow.
asparagus.
That looks so good.
It's always good to go to a restaurant really hungry.
I heard that. Bring your appetite.
I'm gonna take the lid off of these potatoes. So we're gonna add our steak to each plate. So there's one. Here is the other. Now we have those smothered potatoes that we've been talking
Wow,
about.
it looks so good. Wow.
So again, you see all of the different colors there. And then finally, we cannot forget our mushroom sauce.
OMG.
There we go. And this is our steak dinner.
He browned the hell out of his brown skin. Oh.
You know I love your brown skin.
Is the camera picking up that sound? Because it's delicious.
Oh my God. Now I've had steak and I've had smothered steaks, but never have I had a bacon smothered steak with mushrooms with my favorite things. This is all of my favorite things. Bacon and steak together, I'm in heaven.
I'm glad you like it.
Yes, indeed.
And it's so tender, not dry.
Yes, I like my steak medium. Look at that. Ooh, pink in the middle, just like me.
Oh my.
I'm sorry, we need to cut the cameras, do we?
No, carry on. So Eva, what have you been up to? What you got going on?
Everything.
Wait, before you do, I have to say this because this is probably the most incestuous episode we'll ever do because Raymond played your boyfriend in one of your music videos.
Yes, he did.
And I played Raymond's boyfriend in our web series. So
Does that mean that I get
this
around?
Eva, we both had him, right? We had him, right? Can I get it? So
Raymond.
I'm must be easy.
Are you?
It's something about Raymond.
There's something about Raymond.
Easy like a Sunday
Good morning.
morning.
Easy like a Sunday morning.
Well, it was a pleasure playing both your boyfriends on scene.
Very good, very good.
Well, you were a terrible boyfriend in both, though.
Wow.
No, I was the terrible boyfriend.
bad
I was the
boyfriend.
bad
Oh, that's right,
boyfriend.
you were.
Yeah.
I'm the good one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But you know what's so funny?
I'm sorry.
I was supposed to be a terrible boyfriend to
You were supposed to be me, the character I played originally.
No, but I was. But she was as bad as me.
Oh, well, there's
You remember the end of the
Oh,
video?
well, there's that.
Well,
Then there's
that's only because you was on some bullshit.
Which was the name of the
Which was
song.
the name of the
Right.
song.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well,
That is
bullshit.
right. Yes, indeed.
Well, Eva, what else do you have going on these days?
Well, I am preparing to drop Legs Up video.
Oh, put your legs up in the air.
Yes.
Yes, I love that song.
So I'm preparing to drop that. I have more video shoots because for every song on my album, I'm gonna have a visual for it.
Gotcha.
Nice.
And you have stuff on the radio right now in
I
Chicago,
do.
right?
I
What songs
do.
are on the radio?
Dark Love and Legs Up. They just started Legs Up.
Awesome.
Nice.
So
nice.
call your local station and request Legs
Very
Up and
good.
Dark
You
Love.
hear that,
By
right?
Eva Ruwe. Thank you.
Awesome.
Indeed.
Yes.
Indeed. Nice.
So
nice.
Awesome. I'm so proud of you. You know, we try and come to every concert you do. I buy a ticket
y'all
even
do.
if I don't
know,
come.
That is so,
So,
the sweetest. Oh my God.
but yeah, it's just a pleasure to see you do what you do. And Raymond, what are you doing these days aside from all the acting and modeling and being
Yes.
bad boyfriends and stuff?
Oh gosh, come on now. No, I'm not a bad boyfriend. I'm a great boyfriend. Don't let what they see on street fool you. So you know, as the pandemic passes, things will slow down. You know, but the modeling and the movie making is where I want to go. So
Yeah.
hopefully, you know, within the next say 6 months to a year, things open back up and then we'll move forward. But prior to that, obviously, you know, away from my side hustle, which is the modeling and the acting, I do have a full-time job at the hospital that, you know, I was involved in some COVID vaccine trials.
Gotcha.
Where we administer. So, you know, that's regular life stuff. But
Yeah.
Awesome.
And-
I wanna
Look at
be
you,
Eva's-
saving lives.
Right.
Saving
Well,
lives.
also in your regular life, though, too, you do a lot of youth advocacy as well.
That
so
is indeed
tell us
correct.
about that.
So, you know, within the LGBTQ community, we, you know, young folks definitely doesn't have the support that they needed to have. And with all the things that's going on in this world right now, they need some support. Whether it's come to just accepting their own sexuality or the things that are happening around them.
And
that could be
sexual health
help-
education
Exactly,
and
that
so
could
on,
be
yeah.
help, sexual health disparity, or some folks may not have the correct knowledge of what they need to do in order to protect themselves. So that's where we comes in, and especially myself, to make sure that folks have some knowledge and some information, the things that we didn't have when we were much younger, whether you're gay or straight. Because you know it's kind of hard, depending on the state that you're in, talking about sex ed with young folks. But just like anything in life, I said college. You prepare them for college. Why not prepare them to making sure that if they make that decision, they have the proper tools.
Absolutely. I love it. So I love what both of you do, and I'm so glad that you came on and joined me today. I'm so happy. You have no idea. So I'm going to shut up. I'm going to let you enjoy your meal.
Oh my
We
goodness.
appreciate the meal. It
Yes.
does. Absolutely delicious.
I mean, this is crazy.
The flavor.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Oh my gosh.
See, this is what I'm saying. See, this is what you serve when you trying to either keep your man or steal a man. It don't matter. It's the same recipe
Same
either way.
recipe.
Hey.
So, all right. Well, thank you guys so much
Thank
for
you.
joining me, and enjoy your meal.
Thank
you
you
for
for
having
thick
us.
thighs saving lives.
Thick
out
thighs
here.
ruin lives.
Ruin
Yes.
lives, not
That's
saving.
right.
Sorry.
That's right.
Thick thighs, baby. Thick thighs ruin lives. Thick